Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with the 4th episode of Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar. I am James Brando alongside my broadcast colleague, Jack Colby.
Stay strapped to your screens tonight, boys and girls, because we're going to have one hell of a show. I can tell you that much for sure.
One hell of a show for sure, and we're starting things off with a bang. The Neon Panther Cali Kaplan going head-to-head with Maria Black, Bayou Fire. Maria Black is ready to prove that she has what it takes to succeed in this women's division, and Cali Kaplan is hoping to stay on the top of it.
Maria Black, I'm not sure what to make of her so far. Like, have we seen much of her in action?
The opening contest is scheduled for one fall with a time limit of 20 minutes.
Not experienced her at all, because I know we've seen a bit of her husband, but we haven't seen much of her as an individual.
We haven't seen much of her as an individual. I was just giving our announcer there some time to speak, but I know we are going to see much more of Maria Black here in the future. Every woman on the women's division is a promising star here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and it's only a matter of time until each of them, I hope, or I foresee, become queen of that mountain, so to speak.
And it's a high mountain to climb, James, it really is.
Definitely, especially when you have competitors such as Maria Black and her opponent here tonight, Cali Kaplan, standing at the top of that mountain. So the new people coming in, season 2, later into our future, are definitely going to have their hands full with these competitors here tonight as they start making their own histories here.
And it's going to be quite an eventful history if the last 3 weeks we've shown anything.
That is a great point for sure, and I have to ask Jack, are you excited? Are you excited to see how this develops and just transforms as we proceed into the future? But speaking of proceeding into the future, we have the time bender here, Cali Kaplan, making her way to the ring.
Kaplan!
And you hear our announcer letting us know that the time bender is here, and she is not here to play games. She is 2-0 right now, looking to make that 3. Can she do it here tonight?
I think she can, if I'm not lying, James, because we saw her incredible feats last week against
Bailey Ray. Bailey Ray had a hard-fought matchup there, but the Neon Panther, the time bender Cali Kaplan, was too much for the young upstart to handle.
We even saw some of her time bending last week. At least that's all I can call it.
Definitely, I think we saw some of that time bending. We definitely saw her bending up Bailey Ray with those submission holds, that modified Kaplan mutilation, and that is something that Maria Black is going to have to look out for here tonight.
It's something very difficult to be able to withstand, I'll tell you that much, James, just from looking at it.
Difficult to withstand, but Maria Black coming in as the aggressor in this matchup, dropping several knees to Cali Kaplan. You have to imagine that this is a good strategy, working over this arm as well. Heavy in the beginnings of this matchup, ready to fly here. Maria Black is just on a different level.
It's a risky move so early in the competition, but it seems to be working.
Definitely did work in a 1-2 count really early in this matchup.
I would have thought Maria Black would have known better.
I mean, you would have thought she would have known better, but it did put Cali Kaplan down for a 2. That is like putting several other competitors down for 5. So it's a good strategy here from where I'm sitting.
Maybe she's counting on Cali Kaplan still being very, very tired from the grueling competition we saw last week.
Yeah, it definitely was a grueling competition, but she is looking strong here in this matchup. When you factor in that Maria Black is no slouch, but as we say that, Cali Kaplan is getting dropped over that top rope and compressing the windpipe. That's going to labor the breathing, and I think this taunting here will labor the breathing as well and kind of get her blood boiling as this matchup proceeds.
Yeah, I think Maria Black is going to be using those mind games from what I can see. She's trying to enrage the Panther. But Panthers are very, very well known for being calm, so I don't know why she's trying to do that.
Definitely known for being calm, and you see the arm submission there, and a big moonsault dropping on the back of Maria Black, but Maria Black up already. But a comebacker lariat there from Cali Kaplan, and another big springboard moonsault. This matchup is just...
It looks like he wants to go to the moon with that aerial offense.
This looks like the modified Kaplan mutilation locked in. Is Maria Black going to be able to get out of it?
I don't think she will. She might be put to sleep here.
We see some struggling here and some rolling around, but an elbow there and another one.
Big elbow pass from Maria Black.
Very impressive defense, and now back on the offense, Maria Black really bringing some pain to that leg. And speaking of legs, making a full impact with her own against the face of Cali Kaplan, and the burning headache from Maria Black, and that might be it.
That's a very aptly named move, James, because I can imagine there'd be some headaches after that.
A 1, a 2, and a 3 count here from Maria Black, getting her first victory here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. And you are right, Jack Colby, that is going to be a headache and a half for Cali Kaplan as she loses her very first matchup in Covenant Pro.
I think she'll bounce back though, James. Because if there's anything we know about Cali Kaplan, it's her ability to bounce back.
Her ability to bounce back, her ability to persevere, I do not disagree with you at all. But that burning headache sealed the deal for Maria Black, and I cannot wait to see the rest of Maria Black's journey here.
Nor can I. I think she'll be a very, very, very influential competitor here at Kaplan Pro Wrestling.
The crazed Cajun, Maria Black.
And we move on to Morgan Sharp versus Mack Daddy. Mack Daddy Furness, the White Rose, Morgan Sharp, the Renegade. Both have a lot to prove here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, but Morgan Sharp, I think out of the two, has even more to prove. He is yet to get a victory here. He's sitting at 0-2, and Mack Daddy Furness only has one match and a win for that one. So Morgan Sharp, let him get his introduction.
For one fall, with a time limit of 20 minutes, introducing first. Making their way to the ring from over yonder, weighing in at 215 pounds, this is the Renegade, Morgan Sharp.
Morgan Sharp, the Renegade, no longer anyone's deputy, aiming to be the sheriff in Covenant Pro Wrestling against a tried and true competitor known as Mack Daddy Furness. Mack Daddy, of course, got his first victory a few weeks ago against Lord Chancho, who was no slouch in his own right. So Morgan Sharp is going to have his hands full. But if we have any indication based on the logo on the back of his jacket, Morgan Sharp might have a full house.
I mean, we've already seen Big Mac beat the Whopper, so I think he might be able to beat Morgan Sharp.
I would never count Morgan Sharp out though, but you have a point. Mack Daddy Furness is going to be a test for Morgan Sharp, but based on the look he just gave the crowd, gesturing, I think he's coming into his own here. I think he's confident. I think he's prepared. I think he's had some time to get used to how we run here in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
I think he's ready to put down some outlaws.
And now, to his opponent, making his way to the ring from the mean streets of Yorkshire, England, weighing in at $245, 245 euros, and 245 pounds. This is the White Rose, Mack Daddy Furness.
Mack Daddy Furness returning here to Covenant Pro Wrestling just after a few weeks ago he beat Lord Chancho in his debut Mac Daddy Furnace is in business for himself. You know, his main goal here is to get the gold, is to get the money. He's all about the euros, all about the pounds, all about the dollars and the cryptocurrency. And however he can do, whatever he can do to raise his stock is what he's gonna do here. So if he has to beat Morgan Sharp here tonight, that's what he's gonna do.
So, do you think he's only here for the money, or do you think he actually enjoys wrestling, James?
I think if he is going to get the kind of paycheck he wants, he is going to have to work, and tonight he has his work cut out for him with Morgan Sharp.
Morgan Sharp already shown that his legs are very, very good for offensive capabilities. If I was Mac Daddy, I'd be targeting them straight away.
I would be targeting them straight away, but you know, if I know Morgan Sharp, he's not going to let anyone target his legs. He is going to let his legs do the targeting. And just as we say that, a big knee drop there, and slamming Mac Daddy with some in the corner.
Mac Daddy's already getting the shit kicked out of him, pretty much.
Yeah, you know, they say in the cryptocurrency space, hold on for dear life, hodl, and that is exactly what Mac Daddy Furnace is going to have to do with a brutal knee hitting Mac Daddy in the face.
Will Mac Daddy be able to reverse, like, the chain of events that are unfolding right now?
I don't think so. He just hit a second one, and a third one, and a trifecta. Only a 1 count. You got to give it to Mac.
Big knee throw. That would put a normal man down.
It would put a normal man down, but you know, Mac Daddy Furnace is no normal man. He's got his mind on his money and his money on his mind, but Morgan Sharp has something else on his mind. Is he going? He's going for the high noon, and he hits it.
I'm thinking Mac Daddy is going to need to do something to turn this around, or this is going to be a very long match.
Uh-oh, we got a pinfall here. 1, a 2, 3. Morgan Sharp has defeated Mac Daddy Furnace, and he is on the board here in the year 2022 in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
That was an amazing demonstration from Morgan Sharp why he's the sheriff around here.
To take someone like Big Mac Daddy Furnace and let them know that you are here to make waves, you are here to make your name known and show everyone what you're about, and to perform at that level, you can't go wrong with it.
And your
Mac
winner
Daddy
of
was
this
definitely
contest
losing
via
stock, though.
pinfall, he is the
Definitely the losing stock. You saw it plummet just a little bit,
Sharp.
hold on to that stock just a little bit, because I know Mac Daddy Furnace isn't done yet. But Morgan Sharp enjoying his victory here, his first of many here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and you love to see it.
You really do.
But now we're moving on in the action. Ebac, the Hyrulean High Flyer, is taking on Lord Chancho, the expert gamer. You know, Ebac is no slouch when it comes to gaming himself. He is the self-proclaimed ace of the arcade, and Lord Chancho, you know, he's a Fortnite fiend, but can he take on Ebac?
Battle of the Gamers.
Battle of the Gamers, and I just want to hear this song.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from the Burger King Kids Club, weighing in at 1,146 Whopper Juniors. This is the expert gamer, Lord Chancho.
Lord Chancho making his way to the ring in all of his glory, crowned as the longest tenured member of the Burger King Kids Club, weighing in at a surplus over 1,000 Whopper Juniors. You gotta think that tonight he is ready to take on the much smaller Ebac.
So, still being part of the kids club, do you think he's a child at heart, James?
I think he is a child at heart. He plays Fortnite every day of the week. He is a Fortnite fiend. You see his t-shirt there. He's repping in his attire. And it's on his mind 24/7. But what should be on his mind is his opponent right now, Ebac, who is a veteran of the sport of professional wrestling, as well as competitive gaming. So he might have met his match here today.
Way to the ring from Norwich, England, weighing in at 240 pounds, he is the ace of the arcade, Ebac!
You know, I really love to see Ebac here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. Not only to see him just be here, but to be repping the brand so proudly on his t-shirt. Jack Colby, doesn't it bring just a little bit of warmth to your heart to know that someone of the caliber of Ebac is here?
It brings warmth to my heart just knowing he's alive, James. Because he wasn't even meant to be dead.
I don't know if Ebac was meant to be dead, but I do know that Ebac always has some extra lives. And speaking of extra lives, I imagine there had to be some special mushroom that he ate before this match to pull that off.
They're both trying to one-up each other here.
Definitely both trying to one-up each other in a one count there early in this matchup. You have to wonder if Lord Chancho has brought the Chi engine with him because he is going to need it to take on someone the caliber of Ebac. And a big DDT, it looks like.
Even if he uses a Chi engine, I think that Mack Daddy will be able to use the Konami code against him.
That Konami code is going to come in handy, and Lord Chancho tried for a big headbutt, but I don't think he got any of it. But that doesn't mean anything to Lord Chancho because he's coming at him with the punches and another DDT. Lord Chancho with a pin, didn't even get a one count. Referee Leonard Seymour is seeing everything right now but a double axe handle and some taunting for the crowd.
Speaking of Leonard Seymour, we know that that Will Sheridan wasn't very happy with him last week over the rope breaks.
I think he is getting used to how it works here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and a big spinning side slam from Lord Chancho. But Leonard Seymour is doing a great job. He's going to get a Christmas bonus for sure. Lord Chancho just gave Ebac a Christmas bonus of his own pretty early, and now we see him biting the hands.
Is that legal?
And a very long 2 count. I'm not sure if Leonard Seymour is going to let that slide. It shouldn't be legal, but maybe Ebac has some secret herbs and spices layered over his fingers.
We can see just the pure mass of Lord Chancho every time he's slammed.
2.
The entire ring just rumbles.
Every time he is slammed. And a big moonsault that'll send the ring rumbling as well. Lord Chancho is in a bad situation here. Ebac dropping the knee on the arm. And a fist drop here from Ebac.
A huge fist drop at that. Taunting him to get up now, isn't he?
And another one. He heard what you said, Jack. Oh, he might be installing some NVIDIA drivers. And he hits it. 2, 3.
Yeah, and he's rebooted Lord Chancho.
No reboot there. That one was gone before he could try.
It was a hard crash.
You know, I think Lord Chancho got the blue screen of death towards the end of that matchup, and there was just no coming back. It was a matter of time before the guru of gaming, the ace of the arcade, the Hyrulean high flyer Ebac, got his way with him.
I completely agree.
Beautiful matchup here. We see that in the video driver, in the replay. Ebac has to be proud to get his #1 win here in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
He showed that he has an amazing potential in him here, which he's already shown in the past.
And speaking of potential, we have nothing but potential here from this next match. Lauren Osborne and Cami B going head-to-head 1v1 yet again. This time, Lauren Osborne aims to prove that Cami B, she won by a fluke.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a time limit of 20 minutes. Introducing first, making their way to the ring, hailing from Newark, New Jersey, weighing in at 128 pounds, this is Cami B.
Cami B making her way into the ring. She is here to prove that the first win she got over Lauren Osborne was no fluke. She is a prominent striker. She knows exactly what she wants to do when she gets into this ring, and today she's going to show everyone just that.
I think Cami B stands a huge chance here, considering
the
she knows
Welsh
how Osborne
Valley.
wrestles.
She
And
is
she beat
the
her last time.
master of the airborne Osborne, the young blood, Lauren Osborne.
Cami B is on good footing here in this matchup, having beat this, her opponent once before. But Lauren Osborne, she's very unpredictable. She's known to be the shy one in social situations, but she has proven time and time again that when she steps into the ring, she is able to pull out all the stops as long as she gets past this first rope here, which she normally has problems with.
Speaking of her shy persona, there's a trick from her. But speaking of a shy persona, I think that might just be a front to make her seem less deadly. More like, drunken master.
That could be a strategy. That could be her strategy to show, hey, this is who I am, but watch out. I'm like a snake. I'll come back and bite you.
Yeah, she's trying to show vulnerability to make her opponent underestimate her. Which is a very, very smart strategy. And already on the top ropes here.
Already on the top rope, and a brutal kick sending Lauren Osborne down, going for an early pin, a 1 count, and a kick out just like that. Lauren Osborne will not submit quite yet. She will not be out of this matchup that early. Cami B showing her confidence for sure with that springboard moonsault, but now we see, what is this gonna be? A big German suplex.
With a huge flip over Cami B as well.
Showing that athleticism, showing that she will not back down, sending some big kicks in the direction of Cami B, but Cami B hit that dragon screw and is now on the offensive again.
I think Osborne wants to prove that she is a true Welsh dragon, because the Welsh are very well known for their ferocity.
Known for their ferocity, known for their determination. Cami B is showing her determination here, but Lauren Osborne has consistently shown that she is not someone to take lightly. And even though she's on the back foot here, taking these knees to the leg, you gotta think she's got something else up her sleeve, so to speak, that's going to help her pull this one out.
Neither of them have sleeves though, James.
Oh, this is the knee of karma, and she hits it. 1, 2, and barely rolling the shoulder out.
I honestly thought that was a free.
I need to check in with Leonard Seymour and make sure he can count that high, because it definitely looked like a 3 to me. A big shot to the midsection. Cami B going for a spinning kick there, but Lauren Osborne is able to bring this back into her corner. A huge Hurricane Rana, slamming Cami B down into the canvas.
Cami B is being absolutely beaten to a pulp here, but I don't think she's out. I don't think she's out.
Going for the pinfall. 2. Almost a 3 count. That knee of youth has had very good luck for Lauren Osborne, but now she's going up top. We've seen this before, the airborne Osborne, and she hits it. 1, 2, and a 3 count. That's it.
The Dragon succeeds.
The Dragon succeeds, and not only does she succeed, she is the #1 ranked female in the women's division, 3-1, a better record than Cali Kaplan, a better record than anyone else here on the roster, and you gotta think that it feels damn good.
Especially being so shy, it must really boost her confidence.
And your winner of this contest via pinfall, the Youngblood, Lauren Osborne.
What do we see here? We see Jamie Clark. Jamie Clark, what's he going to do? That is security right there, and oh my God, a 585.
Someone call the police. Someone call the police.
Call the police. Call anyone you can call, because right now Jamie Clark is on a rampage. He's got a match later on tonight, and you gotta think with that confidence, he's going to do pretty well. But we're moving on. Jamie Clark is not quite up yet. We're moving on to Belle Florent.
He needs to be removed from the premises. That is not acceptable.
It is not acceptable at all, but Belle Florent versus Hisano is up next. And while we figure out what's going on with Jamie Clark, I think we better pay attention to these two women, because they are ones to keep a watch on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following matchup is scheduled for one fall with a time limit of 20 minutes. Making their way to the ring first, from Bordeaux, France, weighing in at 186 pounds, she is the Beast of Bordeaux, Belle Florent.
Belle Florent making her way to the ring for the first time since episode 1. You've got to think with all the rest that she's been able to have, she is fresh and prepared for her opponent. But Hisano, you know, the former Yakuza member, the former Yakuza Fight Club battler, has to be ready for Belle Florent right now.
And the Yakuza isn't easy to get into. You need to have a lot of mental fortitude and a lot of physical prowess.
You definitely have to have a lot of mental capacity as a Yakuza member. But we see Hisano making her way to the ring.
Kyoto, Japan, This is the Yakuza's #1 hit, the Boss Woman, Hisano.
The Boss Woman Hisano stalking her opponent, making her way down to the ring, wanting to step inside the squared circle with Belle Florent because no one can take on Belle Florent quite like Hisano can. They're very similar styles, very similar disciplines, and you have to think, Jack, that this is going to be a roller coaster ride of a matchup.
I'll be honest, I'm a little scared right now from the stare that Hisano is giving Belle Florent. I think he might want to kill her.
I'm scared of the glances that they're giving each other. I'm scared of the black around her eyes. There's just something eerie about the presentation of Hisano, and as you look into her eyes there, I don't know, it just feels soulless to me, Jack.
It doesn't feel soulless to me, it feels full of rage.
It very well could be rage that we're seeing from Hisano, and she's going to need a boatload of it to take out someone like Belle Florent.
It's going to be a very, very close match here, James.
And I am ready to see it.
As am I. I'm actually really looking forward to see these women compete and try and break each other.
The only question is who is going to break who and who is going to withstand the other. Hisano out of the gate with a big kick to Belle Florent. You have to wonder.
Hisano is such an imposing figure in the women's division. Just look at the size difference between these two women.
That's what I was going to say. You have to wonder about this size advantage that Hisano has. If Belle Florent is going to be able to succeed in this position, but now we see Belle Florent kind of taunting Hisano and telling her, no, that's not how this match is going to be, and a big knee there, and a pinfall early in this match, but only a 1 count.
We're seeing a lot of knees tonight. A lot of knees.
A lot of knees. I can't believe how many knees we've seen tonight, but they're effective. They're easy to pull off, and this armbar here, yep. Is Hisano going to tap out? I don't imagine she will.
And we a lot more than that.
And we see that strength advantage.
Although Hisano is shaking her arm as if it might have pulled a muscle.
You know, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That always rings true in professional wrestling. But Hisano is not ready to fall yet. Belle Florent taking a big slam onto that knee. And if you take out the knee of a competitor like Belle Florent, that's a huge portion of her offense. So it's a good strategy here.
What is Belle Florent doing here? Ooh, big trip.
She picked at that leg and was able to trip Hisano up, working that knee area. And now just a flurry of punches.
She's using the mass of Hisano against her, getting her center of gravity off.
Got her center of gravity off, but it didn't seem to be effective for long because now Hisano is showing her the force of gravity here. But Belle Florent throwing her over the ropes.
Will she throw her out of the ring? Yes, she will. I'd be worried if I was Hisano right now, with Belle Florent having this momentum outside the ring.
I am worried right now. You see our fans are close up to the action, and Hisano has the upper hand at this point. This is not a good position for Belle Florent.
I don't think either of the competitors are really taking the collateral damage that can occur to the fans in mind. So it's a very dangerous situation for that front row.
That's why they are the best seats in the house. They are a precarious situation for the fans, but that's exactly where they want to be. That's what they paid for.
They have to sign a safety waiver and for the legal team, otherwise they can sue us.
And a big gut-wrench suplex on the barely padded concrete here. The fans in the front row are getting their money's worth, but now Belle Florent making the smart move and getting Hisano into the ring.
Leonard Seymour is watching this match extremely closely from the look of it. Like, his counts have been quite good for this match.
And speaking of counts, we've got I don't even know if that was a 1 count.
I think that was a 1 count. I did see his hand touch the mat.
Saw his hand, but did not hear his voice, so maybe it was a 1. I'm not sure, but here we go.
How did she lift her up?
I have no earthly idea.
Again.
And now we see this butcher's snare. Belle Florent is making an example of Hisano here.
So where do you think the pain is coming from this hold?
It's got to be pretty much everywhere, but mostly on that knee area. She wasn't successful with the submission, but now she's going for a pin and a 3 count off of that butcher snare by Belle Florent, and she remains undefeated here in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
And your winner of this contest via pinfall, she is the Beast of Bordeaux, Belle Florent.
And Belle Florent successful in her 2nd win here, but Ashley Walsh coming, spearing Hisano and breaking her in half just about. We haven't seen Ashley Walsh since the brutal attack several weeks ago where Hisano attacked her in the parking garage, and now finally getting her just desserts here.
Someone needs to talk to competitors tonight because they're being very, very dirty.
And a big knee there. Ashley Walsh making her presence known here in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
Is Hisano okay? Will she need medical attention?
I think she may. The lights are on, but no one's home. And now we move on to Connor Gates versus Jamie Clark. The Skyburner versus the technical 3-year-old who is old enough to fight.
I'd actually like to see a proper 3-year-old in Covenant Pro Wrestling. It could be impressive.
We don't quite yet have a juniors division, but in the future, maybe Jamie Clark will be their champion. But now we see Connor Gates making his way to the ring.
Of 20 minutes, introducing first, hailing from the West Midlands of England, weighing in at 210 pounds, this is the Truthless Hero, Connor Gates.
Connor Gates making his way to the ring. We haven't seen him since episode 1. A huge influx of people we haven't seen in a while, and Connor Gates, I think, has a good chance of making it out of this match with a win.
A huge roster here, so it's going to be a couple episodes between appearances for some people. But Connor Gates, he's demonstrated in his last performance that he is meant to be
making his way to the ring from London, England, weighing in at 256 pounds, he is Jamie Clark.
Jamie Clark making his way to the ring, making his family proud is the #1 goal on his mind. His trainer, Michael Young, everyone who has supported him along the way, he is prepared to show them exactly why they've done so and why he has deserved it. And I cannot wait to see how this matchup goes. This matchup has started off absolutely insane. Jamie Clark is getting obliterated here by Connor Gates, but is able to make his way up onto his feet just for a moment, long enough to get, rained on with these fists.
We apologise for the slight silence there, but it appears the attack on Hisano may have knocked off some of the wires.
Definitely something in this arena tonight is going wrong. All these competitors are taking business for themselves right now, and Jamie Clark is definitely in business for the win here, and a big stomp.
Oh, huge stomp.
And a 2 count there. Referee Leonard Seymour right in the midst of the action.
He definitely got that count right, I can tell you that much for sure.
And speaking of counts, you can just count up all of those punches that Jamie Clark hit on Connor Gates. And another big knee. We've talked about this all night. 2, and only a 2 count.
The thing is with knees, though, if you do them wrong, they can dislocate your leg. So you have to be very, very careful. It takes a lot of technique.
Speaking of technique, look at the lift here. Jamie Clark lifting Connor Gates and just slamming him down like he's nothing.
Slamming the Gates down on his match, perhaps.
Is that closing the portcullis, if you will?
Indeed. But I think, to be honest, the Gates are still open for him.
Irish whip into the corner, but Jamie Clark is fighting back, and a brutal headbutt. I see some red, and a teardrop suplex for good measure. 1, 2, and no, Connor Gates got the rope.
Rope?
Firmly grasping the rope is the only way rope breaks count here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. They don't count if you just drape your leg over the rope, but if you're intentfully grabbing that rope, they do count. And a big 1, 2, 3. Connor Gates with a miraculous win here. I did not expect that at all.
Nor did I.
Absolutely.
That was an impressive headbutt, though.
Definitely impressive for sure. And you've got to be a little disappointed if you're Jamie Clark. You come that far in a contest, you do so well, and a maneuver that comes seemingly out of nowhere like that knee there to take you out, it's got to hurt just a little bit.
It's going to hurt his pride as well as his body.
But what doesn't hurt Connor Gates is that win.
Connor Gates.
And I have to agree here. After the security has been attacked, Seth Dallas does have a point when it comes to Jamie Clark's insistence on being the center of attention.
I don't agree. I completely disagree with you there, James. I think he's just wanting to lash out, perhaps.
Wait a minute, that is uncalled for there. He's referencing the wife of Jamie Clark. Jamie Clark not taking that very nicely.
Nor would I.
A Northern Light suplex here on the unpadded ramp area, and now going to the back.
I don't think... Will we have legal liability here?
I hope not, but what is he going to do? Seth Dallas, not on the concrete. Don't do it. Oh my God.
I think I heard a bone break through the monitor there.
The bone may have broken, but he's not done. Don't do it, Seth. He's just a baby.
Big pain there. First his wife and now his back.
Oh my God, not a good night for Jamie Clark, but we're hoping that it's been a good night for you all watching here today, because our main event is up next.
The spiffy top hat scene here on the graphics.
For sure, Entertainer's top hat is far more pleasant than his actual personality, and we see Sheridan and Winters taking on Butch and the Entertainer, and if I've got to be honest, I want these assholes to lose.
I think they're rather entertaining.
Making their way to the ring from Manchester, England, weighing in at 214 pounds, he is the lunatic known only as Butch.
You know, Butch is very entertaining. He's got a huge repertoire of styles and techniques at his disposal, but I just don't agree with his alignment here with the Entertainer. Entertainer always has something up his sleeve, some trick, some ruse, some game that he's playing with somebody, and I don't know if he's playing a game right now with Butch.
From what I've seen between their interactions, Entertainer might be using Butch because Butch seems to idolize him. I don't know why though.
I mean, his name is the Lunatic Butch, so I don't think much explanation is required in that regard.
Speaking of Entertainer, here he comes.
And now his partner, making his way
And something to be said about the Entertainer, he did of course send his lackey Butch out first, and you wonder if Will Sheridan is going to do the same thing.
He is the demonic jester.
I think Sheridan likes to lead from the front.
Demon, the Entertainer.
Sheridan definitely does like to lead from the front, and Entertainer, known as the sleep paralysis demon, and let me tell you, Jack, if I saw this man in my dreams, I would be paralyzed.
Yeah, I certainly would too, but do we know how old he is? Do we even know if he's human? Or is he an actual demon?
I've heard he's over 3,000 years old, maybe even more. I don't know, that speaks demon to me.
Demon, God, no one knows him. To be honest, I don't care as long as he's good at wrestling.
Exactly, and speaking of someone who is good at wrestling, the Iron Will Sheridan, making his way to the ring.
Leading from the front.
From Fort Lauderdale, Florida, weighing in at 229 pounds, he is the live wire, the vindicator of Covenant Pro Wrestling, Iron Will Sheridan.
You know, I like Sheridan, but have you ever met someone with more nicknames in your life? I'm not sure.
I mean, Lord Chancho's up there. He has quite a few nicknames, if I recall correctly.
So I guess Sheridan is playing on the right side of the field here with his monikers. He is the Vindicator of Covenant Pro Wrestling, a moniker that suits him very, very well. Wanting to give all of these competitors a chance to compete, but also wanting to prove that he has what it takes not only as an in-ring competitor, but someone who runs this company as well.
But we also have to take into account what Entertainer had to say to him last week. That perhaps it's just for attention, but I'm not sure that it is.
I think, you know, you could take all the attention off of Will Sheridan and it would not
And
matter, but the
now,
man who deserves the
weighing in at
attention right now is
228
Brad
pounds
Winters.
From Wyoming, USA, he is the American Patriot, Brad Winters.
Brad Winters, of course, making his way to the ring after defending Will Sheridan last week when Butch and Entertainer tried to have their way with him, tried to catch him at a disadvantage. But Brad Winters, after the handshake he had with Will Sheridan on week 1, said, no, that's not going to happen on my watch, and we're going to do this in tag team competition.
I think Brad Winters and Sheridan have a much better connection than Butch and Entertainer, just because I think Entertainer might be using Butch as a puppet.
I definitely foresee Brad Winters and Will Sheridan maintaining their status as a team after this match, but I'm not so sure about, you know, Butch and the Entertainer. We'll have to see. And Butch being sent into this matchup by Entertainer not starting off with Will Sheridan. I wonder if that is a mind game that Entertainer is playing right now, and it seems to be working.
They have a lot of history, Entertainer and Will Sheridan. I believe weren't they the first feud that Entertainer had, or at least one of the first feuds?
One of the first feuds. It's going to go down in the annals of history, both in professional wrestling in general and in the CWO where they were previously. But a big elbow drop off of that scoop slam by Will Sheridan.
Very early tag.
You know, I think he was making it right. You know, I think he thought that Entertainer should have started this matchup and Brad Winters should have gone against Butch, and Brad Winters dropping that elbow or dropping that leg drop across the elbow of Butch.
Speaking of Entertainer, he released a promo this week warning Butch that if he lost that he wouldn't keep backing him up. Which, if I was Butch, that'd be weighing on me very heavily right now.
That is definitely most likely weighing on Butch. I'd imagine that it's in the back of his mind right now. Butch able to get the tag to Entertainer, but Brad Winters busy taunting to the crowd or showing off for Sheridan. I'm not sure which one. Not able to get himself a tag. Now he's in there with the demonic jester himself, the Entertainer.
Just looking at this now, you'd think that someone being claimed as a sleep paralysis demon will be a little bit bigger than this.
You know, I think he's a different sort of sleep paralysis demon. He is a psychological demon. He might not, you know, be a demon in the traditional sense. You know, we're not sure if he's mystical or what. I know he has some sort of powers, but he likely can't power out of that. But he does almost immediately in Will Sheridan, letting the crowd know that he's not thrilled with that result.
Sheridan trying to play some mind games of his own, perhaps. Ooh, big kick there from Sheridan.
Sheridan is revving himself up, trying to get ready and get going in this matchup, but a big German suplex dropping him on the back of the head. And it seems the tides have turned here, and Entertainer is now ready to get into this matchup.
Entertainer and Will Sheridan know each other very, very well. They know their styles inside and out, so it's going to be a very interesting match between these two, and between Butch and Brad Winters.
Definitely, and you see that in the counters of Entertainer against Will Sheridan, and him pulling out different maneuvers than we're used to seeing with him. They do know each other very well, but tagging Butch in again.
Trying to allow Butch to prove himself.
Prove himself indeed, and Butch going after that leg with that knee bar there, and Will Sheridan does have those lower extremity issues, and capitalizing on that is a good move. Will Will Sheridan be able to power out?
If I was Butch right now, I'd be targeting the arms, since he has a history of arm problems as well.
Will Sheridan has a history of many injuries, but showing that he can turn the tables. He's able to land on his feet, and a big neck breaker taking Butch out in a moonsault.
If there's anything I can say about Will Sheridan is that he will not give up. There's a reason we call him the Iron Will.
He does not give up. You're going to have to He won't tap out. You're going to have to make him pass out. That is how Will Sheridan rolls. But Butch, able to hold his own there with a jawbreaker. He went for that lunatic punch, that Superman punch variation, and Will Sheridan bringing him into the corner for Brad Winters. Are we going to see a tag?
Do you
And
think
we do.
Do you think the lack of accuracy is attributed to the mask?
Possibly, but Brad Winters was right on the money there with that coast to coast. Doing that drop kick from one turnbuckle to another takes a lot of skill and a lot of calculation. And that happened almost too quickly to call.
Either that or Entertainer staring at you a little bit funny.
That could be the case. He is, known for his wandering eyes, those pitch black obsidian eyes. And Brad Winters working on the leg here of Butch. It's a good strategy for someone that uses a lot of their legs to have power in their maneuvers.
How do you think a lunatic like Butch would perceive pain?
That is a good question, and maybe that's how they draw the line between Butch and Entertainer and how they work as a team. Do they perceive it the same? Because right now, Butch seems to be in a world of hurt with the stretching technician of Brad Winters.
I think Entertainer might be underestimating the amount of pain Butch is in, though, because he's just laughing.
You do hear that maniacal laugh from the turnbuckle there in Butch's corner, but Brad Winters going for that hammer lock.
Entertainer coming out.
Entertainer trying to break it up, but leaving the ring. A pinfall, 2, 3, and that is it.
Oh, Entertainer's not going to be happy with that.
He is not going to be happy with that. Brad Winters able to pull off the victory on a pinfall right after a submission. And you don't see that very often with a standing submission, so Entertainer is definitely going to take that some kind of way that I don't think Butch is going to like very much.
I think Butch should be running right now.
Running for the hills.
Well, to be fair, Butch is probably one of the guys from the Hills of Eyes, so if there's anything, he's familiar with hills.
And your winners of this contest via pinfall, Brad
He's going to have
Winters
a big hill to climb in
and
terms of the Entertainer.
Will Sheridan.
That is indeed true. Will and Brad seem very, very pleased with this result.
The show is supposed to be over right now, but we're taken to the backstage area. Johnny D stalking someone. Oh, it looks like it's Dragon Kid.
Oh, with a stop sign too. You should stop.
Should definitely stop. Johnny D, you don't need to do this. He's just a kid. You can't even get a glass of water or a drink of water around here without being attacked in the Covenant Pro Wrestling arena.
If I was the superstars right now, I wouldn't come to the arena when you're not fighting, just because of the amount of pure brutal attacks we've seen.
Definitely brutal attacks. Dragon Kid needs to get some offense here, and as I say that, he does, and a big super kick. Picking up the stop sign for his own.
And he's been stopped. Did that just bounce off his head?
It bounced off his head, and we seem to be having technical difficulties here, but we're trying to get back, and now they are by this ambulance. We've seen in recent weeks that Johnny D has some sort of obsession with having his opponents leave in ambulances, and now I think Dragon Kid is in real big trouble.
Fun fact, this ambulance wasn't hired by CPW. It's had to be here so often that they now take residence here.
They do take residence here, and Johnny D has bad plans. Maybe he's gonna change his mind, but no!
Ooh, onto the concrete too.
I can't believe what I just saw, and Johnny D is leaving him there to die, and that is all we have there for you tonight, folks. Covenant Pro Wrestling is back next week with more action, more wrestlers, more matches. I can't wait to see you. Like, subscribe, and share for more.